Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 19, Week 4. It's the Super Bowl special, baby. Today, we got Pitching Tents, also known as Cirque du Soleil, the Cryptic team, taking on Why So Serious, the jaso7 team.
5 seconds remaining.
Both these teams are currently at the top of the heap. Seems like it's going to be more of the same moving forward, so this is going to be your big, the Titans collide type game. With me here is not a co-commentator, but we might be picking one up as the game goes along, if he shows up. Though I have a funny feeling he might have fallen asleep. Bounty Hunter ban, Oracle ban, Hoodwink ban. Okay. Is Cryptic Hoodwink happening this season? I don't think that's really on my bingo card. I don't think I'd be running it on 5. Been playing Hoodwink in pubs? Okay, that would do it. I don't know if it's going to happen this season, but hey, it is happening in pubs, so it's a better reason to ban it than nothing. I don't know necessarily about the Pit Lord ban. I feel like the hero is not good enough right now to deserve it unless you're specifically thinking about something it counters. It's not like bad. It's certainly better than most of the quote-unquote bad heroes this patch, I would say, but I feel like it's a situational ban. I don't think you necessarily want to comfort that guy out, especially when this dude's been running that axe sometimes. And I think that axe, if you're banning comfort, I think that axe is stronger. Every LD2L ban equals target, but you can't do that season. This season is so meta. It's like I said before, a really bad Lich will do better than like a really good, I don't know, really good, let's say, Ogre Magi, right? Like a 3.5, or I guess it's 4 now, like a 4K play in the Ogre Magi is like maybe going to be on parity with like a 1K who's playing Lich for the first time. It's like that kind of thing. That's where I think the balance is at this patch, legitimately.
5 seconds remaining.
Isn't he meta recently? I don't know. I was just trying. I was just trying to come up with a bad support, or at least like a mediocre support. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just mid. But whatever, imagine a bad support. It's that one. Let's say, I don't know, Chen. Chen is like even sucking in bro games. Like even in bro games, he has like a terrible win rate. So let's say Chen. Goated Chen player is not going to do as well as like a really bad Lich. Bad support equals whatever my support pick, says Geistly, who is for the most part a support player. Interesting to see. Lich ban, Dawnbreaker ban, two very unsurprising ones. Actually, I'm a little surprised by the Dawn, actually. I figure it's probably this team's strongest play if they're the first pick to leave that particular one in the pool. I think it's a hard team to... I think the Cryptic team, maybe their biggest upside as a team is they got a pretty good Lich player in Tristero, they got a pretty good Dawnbreaker player in the Space Cowboy, and I think that's the two first picks this patch. Got a Neeks pick here. I am kind of the opinion that most of the reason that people are running Neeks is as like a counter to the Dawnbreaker. It is something that when I've been doing my homework, I've noticed it doesn't really come out much except as a counter pick. You know, a lot less as a counter pick, or a lot less as a pick in itself, more as a counter pick. Still, that being said, it's, again, well, it's not the best, it's not totally unviable. And if you want to go for it, go for it. Neeks equals Dawn counter plus scouting. There we go. So if they pick the Dawnbreaker themselves, they have a great thing to go with it. I think Neeks is a little poor as a scouting hero, if I'm being honest with you. Like, yeah, I understand he has the invis, he has the high movement speed and everything. But, you know, All I'm gonna say is this: I've seen many an Overwatch replay where somebody in like a a legend or ancient or higher game dies 19 times under the same sentry ward as the Neeks. You know what I mean? Oh, you'll never guess who's here.
10 seconds remaining.
Hello.
We are actively midstream right now. By the way, I started just a couple of minutes ago. So don't say your real name. You gotta come up with a cover identity fast. I mean, I think everybody here knows who you are, but do it anyway. Everybody in chat does anyway.
I am Gaben.
Gabe. Okay, we're here with Gabe Newell. Can't believe it. You should probably get a little closer to your microphone, Mr. Newell.
No.
Radiant team pick.
Nick's Tide. I'm not the biggest Tidehunter fan. Especially not in the LD2L, but I'm not the biggest fan of the Tidehunter. In general, in this patch, it feels like when I see this guy in LD2L games, the only time that Tidehunter is winning is if his team around him is already doing that by like a lot. If
5 seconds remaining.
if Tidehunter is not like or Tidehunter's team is not super balling without him, I don't think this guy really does anything. And the instant Undying, as was pointed out by Geistonly, it's a hero that so far I think is good in this game. It might be one shot by the Neeks assassin. That's kind of the bad news. But if that happens to you, it didn't happen to the Witch Doctor, so there's that at least. But
Dire
like
team
neither of these guys deal with the Tombstone so far. So you're off to a good start. You have the Monkey King. I think that's actually a pretty solid combo. Actually, I kind of like this tri lineup here. These first two picks from the Cryptic lineup because you have,
10
you know,
seconds remaining.
Witch Doctor who really punishes people in big old circles. You have Undying who punishes people in big old circles. You have the Monkey King who's maybe the best hero at dealing with people in big old circles. But I think AA, that's a good counter pick. I don't think it necessarily goes that well with what they've got so far, but it's a good counter pick for what they've got. And, you know, so long as you temper that with a hero that's good with the rest of the team here, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
10
It's a
seconds
support, you know.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, alright.
Deggies.
So zero of these four heroes actually deal with the Undying, and, they got Blink, Ravage, plus Ice Blast.
10 seconds
I mean, that's not a great combo, though, honestly. I think, like, the problem with Tidehunter, I think, in general, is that this patch is not really conducive to getting the big 5-man Ravages, at least not 5-man at the same place at the same time. And I don't really see this team as being an exception to that so far. You know, Witch Doctor, he is not going to want to be in the center of mass of the combo. Undying is going to be offside, throwing skills in. Monkey King's going to be at the edge of his circle. Dragon Knight is terrible into AA, so I don't know why they picked it.
10 seconds remaining.
They needed
5
stuns.
seconds
Yeah, that
remaining.
is true. They didn't need stuns,
they
they
had a lot
needed
of
something
ways
for in the
to
pool
deal
to do.
damage. They had a lot of ways to deal damage to people, but the counter to that was always just running away.
Yeah, so far they really had no CC. They had the unreliable Witch Doctor CC, they had the really terrible Monkey King CC. So in that capacity, and in the capacity of DK being an in-the-pool hero, I do get that to that degree. But I think it's poor enough here that I think I would have chanced, like, I don't know, the in-the-pool Ember Spear, perhaps? Dire needs wave clear. They also need, like, non-magic damage. I guess Techies technically doesn't do magic damage, but who cares? It's Techies. It's, you know, if as we saw from the live game this week, Techies, if Techies doesn't ball massively, Techies has problems doing any damage right now.
Shit happens.
Runa just sent me a picture of a cat that looks like a cotton ball. Shoutouts to Runa. Shoutouts to Doughboy who's joined us in chat.
10 seconds.
TA, maybe. I mean, I guess.
5 seconds remaining.
Chris, you coming in as 2018 Nigma. Or Liquid, whatever their team was at that time.
Doughboy loves Nigma. Confirmed. They do have the upside that they do have the last pick on Why So Serious. Just in the capacity of, if they had second to last pick, I think that'd be really scary. I think, you know, you could just throw in any multitude of heroes that deals with the TA, and then you're kind of back to the square one of you really don't have any physical damage. At least not any reliable phys damage. But since they got the last pick, they don't necessarily need to worry about that. They need to worry about it getting banned here, I guess. And they need to worry about, you know, actually playing it. That's another deal, but...
Sniper could be good, but if Sniper ever gets caught in the circle of ultimates that want you to stay still, he just dies.
Radiant team pick.
They have the DK and they have a slot for a possibly some CC here. And they do indeed choose to take it.
I like Kunkka.
So...
You're a team full of ults that you want to run away from, or Kunkka does a really good job of keeping people in a single spot.
Yeah, I really like the Kunkka pick here in a lot of ways. In particular, as always for Kunkka, it feels like maybe I'm wrong about this because I'm not Dr. Kunkka, I'll admit that much. It feels like pretty much every not only meta but every game where Kunkka has been viable, you've always just kind of picked him for one thing, haven't you? Ursa. Ursa Monkey? Ursa Kunkka? That's not very good. I like the Ursa into the DK is really good. I feel, and he's like the only guy on the team who can actually deal with the Tombstone. So far, they have 0 people who can actually kill it. Well, before him, they had 0 people who could actually kill it. At least in under 35 minutes, anyway. But, besides that, you know, it's Ursa into a lot of kiting, it's Ursa into X marks the spot, and it's like a really horrific, miserable one-to-one matchup. I really don't like that Ursa into Monkey King matchup for Ursa.
I feel it's a very rough Ursa game. He's without his BKB, he does not get to be a hero in these fights. And then after he does get his BKB, if he ever uses it at the wrong time, he ceases to be a hero again.
Yeah, that's very true, I think. And it's not necessarily an issue with the other team because so much of the Dyer's team fight is within like the way the Dyers win a team fight, they basically have one method. They get 5 people in a Ravage, or at least enough people that why do I have a Discord overlay now? That's weird.
I don't know.
If that turn itself on, this pause will be a great time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's find out. Luckily, that's not appearing on stream, so I don't think you're doxxed. Where the hell is it? They've killed the overlay part of the Discord options menu. Oh, that's quite annoying. Apologies to the people who were watching on the VOD.
Hmm.
Okay, Discord crashed. Great.
Lovely.
Ugh, that's gonna be annoying. Well, it didn't crash. It's just not accepting inputs anymore. Because I hit my push to talk button while I had the options menu open, and there's a search bar that lags the shit out of it. Oy, 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 oy. Kingfisher is a disciple of tops, and the sky picks niche heroes on mid. You could say that.
30 seconds to battle.
He's got this techies, the other techies mid this week after Gotham tried it. Which, Gotham didn't exactly have a lot of success in that field, so maybe Kingfisher hoping to have a little bit more, perhaps. Christ.
The battle begins.
Oh, there we go. Discord restarted itself.
Yeah, it did.
I could eat a walrus.
There we go. It did just randomly turn itself on. Thanks, Discord.
Thank you, Discord.
Cold wind blows. Well, either way, nothing much happening during the runes. Pretty much just peace on Earth as far as that goes. So with that being said, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the cast, the roll call. On pitching tents, also known as Cirque du Soleil. Pause 1, you've got Krem on the Monkey King. Pause 2, you've got In the Pool on the Dragonite. Pause 3, you've got Space Cowboy on the Kunkka, which is facing their off lane, interestingly. Pause 4, you've got... Well, you've usually got Cryptic, but he's not here today. He's down here in the safe lane on the Undying. Captain of the team. And pause 5, you've got Tristero on the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, on the... You want to run this god-awful matchup in lane? Okay. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, on Why So Serious? Pause 1, you've got jaso7 on the Ursa. Pause 2, you've got Kingfisher on the Techies. Pause 3, you've got Liquid Jopa on the Tidehunter. Pause 4, you've got Chobro on the Nyx Assassin, good double stun there. And pause 5, you've got Sherbrix on the AA. Interesting lane swap. Again, I'm not really big on it. I don't think this does anything good for you. Like, this Ursa versus Monkey King matchup isn't just dreadful later on. It's dreadful right now too. It just sucks. Not really sure. Like, what are they really? I mean, I know Kunkka's not really any better, but at least you get the advantage of being in the safe lane against him. You know. I don't know. We're getting a public question if Geistinley is replacing Rauk. I'm guessing probably not. Kingfisher so far is dominating in terms of last hits. Well ahead of the Dragonite, who's down for both last hits and denies. I'm not far behind them on the Monkey King. Undying 1v2 here. Did not drop the tombstone, waiting for a more opportune time to do that. He's gonna take the Lotus. Probably didn't drop tombstone, saving it for the Lotus there, if I'm guessing. Has put Earth in this very awkward spot. Like, they're desperately trying to Krem nearly got that with a skew. They're desperately trying to keep the lane pulled to some degree to keep Ursa, you know, keep things funneling into Ursa's mouth, but it's very tough so far. This is a very momentum-oriented hero, so it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out in this lane. Like, he's got to find some way to turn this around, or it's just this game is going to be really bad for him. This is already a bad Ursa game anyway. It's not like there are that many good Ursa games. That guy sucks. That one I'm saying very confidently. It's like... Ursa sucks so bad right now, he doesn't even have positive win rate into Jug, right? Like, that's where Ursa is.
I wouldn't say that's a favorite matchup, but
Tidehunter.
it's,
Oof. Sticking around quite long in this, in the course of this Maledict. Is going to take most of his remaining health bar. So he's going to have to take a powder for a little while to get some of this health back. Kind of one of these unfortunate Tidehunter lanes as well, where he really doesn't get, even though he's heavily dealing into it, he doesn't really get anything out of Kraken Shell. Not the damage block part of it. He does get something from the Dispel, but not super much. And just, you know, the Kunkka, his damage is going to come from skills in his W. Witch Doctor is all going to come from skills, except his ult that doesn't interact with damage blocks, so kind of sucks. So both of these lanes for Dai are kind of on the back foot right now as a result. Though, well, not that much of a back foot, I guess, if old Tidehunter is not going to act like he's in a bad spot. He's chewing through a lot of regen, actually taking out another set of tangos here. She's going to keep him on the board, but he's not going to be very happy about it. No matter what you're doing or building with Tidehunter, you definitely don't want to have, like, a super weak spot at a lane, because all of his useful items are big ticket. You know,
can always get back into a game, though. If you just get some stacks going, he allows you to farm like no one's business.
A little bit of a scenario here down at bot. Both the Ursa and the AA getting away with 3 stacks of Jingu on their head. Just giving the Monkey King further space here. Oh, let's take a look at this happening. We're up to all muted. Got under to 0 just by Maledict into all the Kunkka stuff.
Yep.
Unfortunate in a way, not the best lane matchup for the Nexus, and I think, I mean, it's not like AA is exactly the king of laning, per se. I feel like maybe they would have been better off just having the, Ursa with just 100 health there. Maybe they would have been better off, just having the, supports swap. I think this is the safe lane is a better looking lane for the Neeks to be in, and it's not like they're losing much by subbing the AA out here from top. Once again going to be going on this Tidehunter, though this time I think they might actually, good stun, might have him. He is going to eat his Tango here. 20 HP separates him from life. And Dragon Knight dies in the jungle here, very sad.
Wow. Techie's doing Techie's things.
He's gonna take this stack in the jungle too. Going to be a meeting of the minds here, the Wisdom Rune. Cryptic wins a right-click contest. He seems to be doing that pretty consistently in these games, actually. And not only does he get the Wisdom Rune, he's also going to knock the AA out. Ursa's gonna chase him. I don't know why Cryptic is walking away from his tombstone here. Going for a very awkward path to just kind of gets him killed, unfortunately. Ursa's gonna go for this tombstone. Is not actually gonna get it before it expires. So overall, because the Undying died, that was kind of a equivalent trade, just because Ursa got the nice little solo kill XP up there. Got to get a little momentum back in a lane where he's down over 10 last hits and 13 denies. They are not letting this Ursa have any XP.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Rip to Kunkka's courier. Probably would not be a bad idea for old Witch Doctor to find a place to stick some of this regen in his inventory. You know, both of the people in this lane are very low on mana. He has a Clarity and a Mango in his pocket, and neither are actually in use. Tychees has a Haste Rune, has a Midas too. Tychees has a Haste Rune coming out here. I think they saw that coming in. They definitely saw when he passed his ward up here. So they're just gonna temporarily get back. Good friend the pool who gets just a moment here to have some free time in this lane. He's gonna hit his ult to slap this tower a little bit. Doesn't quite do what it used to do, but hey, you know, it's still something.
Unfortunately, popping your ult now gives you exactly 0 extra tower damage.
Dire's middle tower
Unless you're corrosive.
It's true, but at least it gives you a nice little ranged attack. They dive this Ursa quite far back. A TP from the techies to T2 is going to force them to back up, and it's going to give Ursa a nice free tombstone. So again, doing a good job keeping Jaso like afloat. Just these small little things, especially getting these tombstones, these kills on the Undying, is going to keep him at least, you know, not completely suffocating, but it's still not quite ideal. You know, he's not sunk, but it's not where you want to be for sure.
Unfortunately, they seem to have mistimed that one because it went to the techies.
Oh, very sad. Okay, so in that case, it's a lot less of a big deal. Techies get his power treads.
About it, yeah.
What's chat saying so far?
Case is talking about tombstone.
You want to elaborate or? Well, that was probably not the first use of the Witch Doctor ult you want to have. You get a kill on the Tidaner up here. Techies comes in to get a return kill, or at least assist, on the Witch Doctor. He is not able to get rid of the Base Cowboy, and you got the DK coming in now. He's going to pop his Invis rune to drop on the Techies here, who one boat later is going to be taking a dirt nap, and the Monkey King swoops him from the back to knock out the AA, who was just kind of there.
The Avengers have assembled in the top lane.
Don't say that, that's cringe.
It's true.
But overall, so far here at 11 minutes, coming out of the lane phase, while everyone's sitting here beating up T1 top. For the most part, this has been win for the Radiant. They've taken 2 towers, lost 0. They're up for kills, up for money. The only person it feels like is really where they want to be right now on Dire is the poor Neeks. Just fell prey to one of the big reasons this Undying and Witch Doctor combo so nasty. Just that Maledict, you know, as previously mentioned, it's a very simple skill. It is literally just the difference between your starting HP and what HP you have at a given moment. And when that decay lowers your maximum HP, it's a pretty stark difference. It can do a lot of damage really quickly. Of course, you can also grieve yourself doing it the other way, but hey. Yeah, just Radiant Demon is going on a world tour here. This is like a you know, classic pre-Facets DK game right here so far. They're actually gonna find a nice stack for themselves as well, so it's gonna make it a little harder for Tidehunter to come back, I guess. But
I think those were Ursa stacks, but rough.
Probably. Oh, and Techies is gonna come to try and deal with it, but is gonna lose most of HP and is gonna have to walk away. AA gets 1 crappy Ancient Black Dragon for the deal. Hey, you know, 65 bucks.
That 65 gold is a happy 65 gold.
It's true.
For AA, that is.
Still, this is like a pre-Facets DK game. They're just going on the big world tour, trying to get map control here. I don't think it was... I think it's probably not good. These guys are staying so aggressive in the triangle here. They're in a lot more compromising of a position than they really should be at this point. You know, you don't want to do this without your main stun. I guess they are going to get a kill for it at least. Who's that? And they're also going to drop a... Well, they're going to try and drop a boat on Neeks' head and miss.
Well, they're doing the whole, hey, let's go in one by one, and hopefully that will eventually kill the enemy.
You have the Ravage, but it comes out right on top of the Monkey King ult, so even with the Ravage, the Dire just has to walk away. And at least ideally, now the Radiant will too. I don't think there's anything more to do here for sure. It was already they didn't get punished for this, even though they probably should have been. As DK is just as casual as can be, just doing a stack here in the jungle, in the ancient camp to boot. Monkey King quite close to his Battle Fury. Ursa considerably further away. Tidehunter is going to randomly die over here. This is a little awkward. They almost get the... okay, these two are dead. If they don't get Space Cowboy, yeah. If they don't get Space Cowboy, something went horribly wrong. Ursa needs to be a little careful of this. I mean, he's going to get this kill, but he's... okay, Enrage is going to keep him alive. Enrage at the last second is going to keep him on the board. And Witch Doctor's even going to celebrate early. He didn't actually see the Enrage, I guess. Awkward situation for Cryptic Team as nearly 2,000 gold swings to the other side. Just a very disjointed effort here right now. Again, they really want to have the DK there to be making plays like this, and he's just not. They're not that far ahead, you know. And so far, oh no, Space Cowboy cringe. So far, they haven't really been punished for it, but they finally turned around and got him there. You know, these three guys just overextended and got hit for it.
Unfortunately, the current DK trends do not lend itself to team play very well. You typically want to farm until you have like 3 items.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing I was saying earlier. They're doing like this classic, like pre-Facets DK gameplay. He's not really that well suited to do that anymore. It's been working so far just from the lead they have, but...
Unfortunate item build here from the Kunkka going for that Halberd rush.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Even in the fight so far, it feels like the only hero that's been doing anything is the Ursa. But...
true, but if you're looking to counter specifically the Ursa, there's many ways to do it that are better. Getting a shard would be really good.
They also just found Krem alone on this wave as everybody moved top, which is pretty bad.
Krem got shot.
Again, it feels like there's kind of like it's the coordination factor and everything started out really strong on the Cirque du Soleil, but it feels like there's something's fallen apart at this point. Like, it doesn't feel like everybody's on the same page anymore.
It feels like they're trying to follow this DK around, but this DK kind of wants to respond.
You've got the ult combo here, basically just right on top of the Kunkka's head, and they lose 2 for it.
Yeah.
Kind of the issue I had with this ult combo. They didn't even kill the Kunkka. The Kunkka even lived. Yeah, it's his halberd now. I guess, hey, it's, you know, also good against the Space Cowboy. God damn.
It's a tough combo.
It's true. Very difficult to argue with that, but it's an important one to land regardless. They're playing around the DK now. More... oh, Techies jumps into 5 here. A very brave play, for which he is immediately punished for it. He just takes the Undying and drops. Undying is a pretty big guy to take. Kunkka doing a good job on the retreat here. They're going to try and snipe him from downtown with the AA ult. They do hit him with the debuff, but not with the actual blast. He's the only one they get out of it. Krem is here on the Monkey King. I'm not really sure he should be, but he is here because of his battle fear and everything. Which,
yeah,
yep,
it feels pretty bad going Battle Fury straight into BKB on a Monkey King.
Wow,
I guess
the alpha damage combo.
I guess if the situation you have created calls for it, it's not the worst, but...
yeah, I mean, it makes sense because the The other team is just very, really it's kind of the same story as the Gotham team we saw as Alive. It's Ursa and 4 supports. It's really what it is. So much of their team explodes if you have BKB. They really can't fight into it at all. So it's not as bad as you would usually feel, I think, here. It is definitely a massive fight steroid because, I mean, really with BKB you're not afraid of anything, even with a pretty limited kit, right? Because Ursa's not going to do it. Ursa's not going to kill the Monkey King, at least he shouldn't, if you're doing it right.
I think
Goodbye, Tide.
Ursa is a pretty terrifying creature for a Monkey King right now. He's got 1100 HP, and Ursa can kill that in maybe 7 hits.
On one hand, that's true. On the other hand, I feel like Ursa, in a reasonable situation, should probably get 0 hits in the Monkey King.
Dire's middle tower
Potentially.
has fallen.
There's mid T2 going down. Meanwhile, Ursa's finally going to be taking the first tower for his team 2 on bot. What do you say?
Radiant's bottom tower
If he
has
just
fallen.
pops his ultimate and then runs into the Monkey King ring, and the Monkey King is AA blasted, Monkey King just dies 100% of the time. Or should just die 100% of the time.
I mean,
Can't be responsive.
I don't know necessarily how he gets there with the Q in his face. He's going to be coming in from the back line here. Nobody's looking at him. So he's going to get freely into this fight. He's going to take out the Witch Doctor. They're going to get the Monkey King in the Ravage. They disarm the Dragon Knight here. Big misplay from the Cryptic team. They saw that Ursa for so long and they didn't do anything about him. Very strange. He's going to get his Blink Dagger out, the proceeds from that fight alone. 2,183 gold changes hands
Is under attack.
straight into the Dire War chest.
You got to walk in for free, and then his distraction caused them to completely forget about the techies, the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I think if they had just calmly all turned around the moment they saw the Ursa and just got rid of him, because without him, that's it, right? Without him, there's nothing else to do unless you, really throw.
I guess, though, that kind of just shows you how lacking the Radiant team is in stuns, because even if they do turn, they have exactly one opportunity to stun him, and that's DK stun. Before he actually gets to do anything. And if he manages to ult the DK stun.
Well, that's true, but they also have a load of Kite, they have a load of, the Halberd on the Kunkka, they have in the pool randomly killing the AA. And while a single target Witch Doctor stun isn't a long one, it's still one.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, it would require Space Cowboy to actually land the Kunkka combo, but,
Is under attack.
that's there.
The Kunkka combo is not restricted by status resistance.
Nope.
Kunkka stun will last as long as it is, or as it lasts, regardless of whether or not the target has any status resistance.
Dire are scanning.
So reasonably, they do have a lot of good options to keep the Ursa, still. It's just a matter of actually doing it, and I think that's where the failing kind of was there. They just didn't do it, you know what I mean? The execution fell apart. Space Cowboy going off on his own here. Gee, it sure is a great idea to run off on your own against this Ursa and Neek's team. He's actually going to live, though. He's going to call 4 people to his aid. He's going to stack stuns on the Ursa here. He's going to try and get away without using his ult, and he is going to succeed. The rest of the Radiant coming in too slowly.
Blink on this Kunkka again.
Well, he blunk. Didn't go very far, but he did do it. He is going to properly time the... oh no, Krem walked out of his ult. It's going to properly time the... come back into the fight, but... He's going to properly time the stun on the Ursa when he's coming back into the fight. Decky's going to go down, Witch Doctor going to follow the... oh man.
The rest of the team took too long to get here, unfortunately. If they were here earlier, then Ursa might have been able to turn that fight, but...
Yeah. Kind of an awkward fight on both sides there, though the Radiant definitely walk away the winner, having killed technically 4 for 1, because they got through the Ursa Aegis.
They killed the Knicks too, didn't they? So that was a 5 before for 3.
There we go. There's the actual, yeah, they did. So 4 for 1, 5 for 1, really. 2,820 gold falling into the hands of the Radiant here.
Dire's bottom tower
$3,000
is
gold
under
swing
attack.
in total.
Yep. Now sitting on an 8k gold advantage.
Dire's
BKB now up for the Dragon Knight. Roar now up for the Ursa, who's going for his own BKB next. That is going to be a pretty significant power spike.
Oh, I feel better.
Techies has his Gleipnir. This is in second place. It's actually ahead of the Ursa. Phoenix Assassin going to get caught here under the Sentry Ward and just get 100 to 0'd by the other team. Another demonstration there of the Undying Witch Doctor, just that awkwardly timed Q from the Undying just gets rid of him. Ursa jumping in on the back line here. Funnily enough, the Dragon Knight just hits BKB, just totally ignores him. Well, he just gets kited around by the rest of the team. Now he's in a really bad spot. He's going to, the DK stun's going to come a little late, so he's just going to dodge the Kunkka stun, but who cares? 4 for 0 there. In the pool, unstoppable. The triple kill. Cryptic says, no brains. That's not the strategy they just used to win that fight is not going to hold up in future fights. When Ursa gets that BKB, they're not going to be able to just hit their own BKBs and ignore them quite so well anymore. But get the use of the advantage they do have there.
Geist putting it well. 2 incredibly different drafts being played incredibly identically. They're sort of just running at each other. And one team just has a slightly better run at you draft at the moment. Because they have the items for it.
Yep, just a straight 2-team death ball here so far. I think even though the Cryptic team had issues being like getting on the same page earlier, when they are on the same page, I think that's kind of the difference between tactics and strategy that I talk about sometimes. This is a great example of it. Like, strategically, for a long time, the Cryptic team was on like different pages. It didn't seem like in the pool wanted to run with his team when the rest of his team wanted to run with him, and it ended up with Monkey King taking his place, and that just ended badly. There's no two ways about it. But when they did get on the same page, when they did get on the ball, with the same strategy, execution-wise, even though the other team's using the same strategy, tactically speaking, execution-wise, so far I think Radiant's had their number. I think they've had the leg up. You know, once they got on the same strategy and it turned to just tactics, right? Once they get the issue, Radiant has had a pretty significant tactical advantage thus far. Outside that one fight where they just ignored Ursa for no reason. Also, if you notice, I'm not getting like little updates on the side there. So, no item queue. And they're gonna find Tristero trying to look at top wave here. DK is gonna find the Tidehunter here. This is really not who he wants to see, to be frank with you, especially not with his team so far away. I feel like you definitely want to get a...
With the current badge DK, even Tidehunter is relatively squishy. That should
Apparently not, Bubsy, because he got away with over half his HP just right-clicking the fountain.
No, he was down to like 30% health. He just ran.
But, DK got his Chrysalis now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe, be good for the Kunkka to get a blink this game. Not even necessarily as like a blink engage thing, just as like a mobility option for him.
Radiant's bottom
Just
tower
wants to be
is
able to
under attack.
quickly jump in, drop the X, support the DK in a fight, I think. Or quickly jump away when Ursa is roaring and running at him. Gonna have 5-man smoke here on the Roche, but Roche isn't even close to up. This is a big kill if they get it. Smoke just broke, but they're running the wrong way.
He just
Ursa
got
ran
his
to the
BKB
lane.
on her. So he's a very tough kill now.
Yep, they're making a big circle up here, but You're not gonna find him. He is long gone. He's out of the zip code. Phoenix Assassin's gonna take the Wisdom Rune. I don't know if that was deliberate on Earth's part or if it was a stroke of luck, but either way, very good for him. I mean, he had the BKB and he's a much tougher kill, but also, you know, 5 people there. It is still pretty rough.
Guys,
5 people, no ability to support.
I don't think a second halberd is a solution. I would have liked to see either of those heroes get a Yule Scepter.
On who? Who's getting the other halberd?
Either Kunkka or Undying. Guys said I would like to see if the Undying got a halberd, but either hero could have gotten a Yule Scepter for a significantly better item.
Yeah. He's going for filler
Because
quest. He can still get... I mean, he's got a Ghost Scepter here, so... It's good for him.
Yeah, I mean, even offlane Kunkka
find the
he
techies.
likes the mana regen, he's tanky enough anyway, that the Yules just gives him... You're not wrong. The strength though is really nice, but...
What's the opposite of regicide?
I think in this match, if it's between the two, if we're getting Yules on one of them, I think I would prefer to see it on the Kunkka, because he's, as mentioned earlier, he's in need of that mobility, and I think that would have helped him reach that, especially considering the time he got the halberd, right? Like, you got the halberd so early. And,
also, he's not building damage Kunkka, but he's got enough mana for exactly one round of spells.
Yeah.
So, the Yules would have helped him. Yeah, if you can use the Techie jump. Another funny thing is if you use Kunkka Shard while Techies is blasting off, then it knocks him out of the air and cancels the stun.
And he did get that shard pretty quickly. Might have gotten it off a Tormentor. They did it, but I didn't actually see who got it, because I didn't get the crawl.
But the Kunkka Shard is really good against Ursa for just shoving him away from people or yourself.
Getting a long... Radiant is doing a good job securing the Roche Pit. Unfortunately for them, it's the longest possible spawn, so...
He's not going to spawn for another minute and a half.
Bit awkward. Hanner's got himself a Veil of Discord. He's going the build that Howler hates.
Yeah, the support your team build.
DK very close to this Demon Ash. He's this catapult away if he wants to go ahead and get that.
Finishing up his Daedalus.
Did I just say he's close to his Halberd? I meant Daedalus.
You said he was close to Demon Edge.
Okay, yeah. Well, he was close to Demon Edge, yes.
Same difference.
That is true. You're just gonna... This is like the most casual DK walking up I've ever seen. Just walk straight uphill. Gets rid of the big stupid watermelon. Kunkka actually gets Ursa to come back on the way, but nobody's actually ready for it. Nobody expected that to happen, which is a classic.
DK has no BKB now. Kind of a scary situation, a little bit.
Still gonna be farming for people here. They're gonna catch the techie. He's not gonna do anything more than just annoy him before they leave. Ursa's gonna jump in with the BKB, and he's gonna get completely destroyed by the Monkey King in seconds flat.
Yeah, it wasn't even the Monkey King. He got crit by DK 2 hits in a row and then died because he didn't use his ultimate.
Well, it looked like the Monkey King did it, so let's just give credit where credit isn't due. Oh my god, yeah.
As I said, he just got crit
one.
twice in a row. This DK is very powerful.
This is a position the Jaso team has not really been in so far this season. They're definitely in major... Space Cowboy. Definitely in major danger of losing this game thus far.
The Scotty on Monkey King is a little unnecessary in the current game state, but you know what makes him tanky, and that's all he really needs, because the DK does enough damage for the both of them.
For the meantime, anyway.
For now.
Oh, Monkey King, this is a really awkward place to be. Oh my god, the techies almost died getting that.
One-shotting the...
Yikes, this is horrible for the Radiant. Losing the Monkey King, the Kunkka, and the...
maybe the Undying.
Witch Doctor. Just awkwardly hanging around up there.
Attack.
Unfortunate situation, just I think maybe Monkey King got a little ahead of himself there. Positioning super okay, it's not bad anymore.
Bit of a weird use of
Radiant's top tower
BKB.
is under attack.
But I guess it saved his life.
No, it didn't. I mean, not like that matters. It's still a massive turnaround for the Dire. Just made $4,000.
Yeah, a 3,500 gold swing.
Again,
And Cryptic gets shot to
Sad.
finish off the fight.
Again, whole that just kind of came because I think Krem got ahead of himself, positioned really aggressively at a time he couldn't actually afford to do that. And
Yeah, DK was a little too far away from Monkey King, and he was positioning so aggressively he just got one shot.
then by the time DK kind of got back into things, it was a little too late. He got the big stupid watermelon as his only prize.
It was just a little awkward because Tidehunter blinked in and ulted and then ran away from the fight, and DK went, ooh, watermelon, and chased him, leaving Ursa alone to just do and target whoever he wanted in that fight. Which turned out to be the Conqueror and the Witch Doctor.
And again, it's just like, I think maybe, I don't know, the same issue as that fight from earlier, just a big underestimation of the Ursa there. You know, it's kind of the one of the things I often talk about is like, you know, having a counter doesn't mean something is counter. Just because you have a bad Ursa game and have built it to be a nightmare Ursa situation doesn't mean he's actually gone. You can't quite ignore him like that.
Yeah,
And trying to stand and fight, especially, was like massively cocky. Second Roche going down here.
Oh, we're so far ahead we don't need to worry about this Ursa, but then they forgot it's still just an Ursa, and that motherfucker does damage.
They had to leave a staff of wizardry in the Roche, but I hope nobody finds that.
DK's Ags part.
Yeah.
Everyone's deciding who to take Aegis. I think DK is the worst person to take Aegis.
I think I would agree with
the
that.
last person that's gonna die every fight. It should have gone to the Monkey King.
I think I would agree with that, yeah. I don't think anybody else even makes sense.
Yeah,
And he even has an obvious place to put it too, which the Dragon Knight really didn't. He was going to at least get a
You
staff.
want your highest damage hero to have the second life, but
Undying is going to lose this very quickly here. Just gets the shotgun combo on his head. And you can see very quickly how this Aegis would have been useful on the Monkey King, as this would have been a great situation for him to have a second life, but instead in the pool is still like halfway, not even halfway dead as instead.
Instead they're just playing keep away with the big dragon man, and it's working.
They're going to try and close here to get the job done. They are going to succeed. He is going to lose the first life here.
DKB, I don't know how much it helps him. Verse is just going to beat his face off.
Yeah. And he hit it and then died immediately anyway. I think that was the 7.
What a truly unfortunate use of BKB there.
Bought his Ags blessing before he bought his Ags.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Yeah, I think he wasn't close to the secret shot, unfortunately for him.
So there's a great example of wrong Aegis carrier in action.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under
Leaving
attack.
DK in a scenario where he has no chance but to just die twice.
And by the way, the Kingfisher has now shown up in chat, so shoutouts to him. That's this guy. If you don't know who that is, it's this guy. He's in chat.
Going for the insane right-click techies.
Yeah, again, it's like what Gotham was trying to do.
Somewhat. I don't even want to call it somewhat succeeding because he's just playing techies. He's not even like playing right-click techies. He's just playing regular techies with right-click items.
Yeah, thus far, most of his contributions to most fights have either been die immediately or follow up a big ravage.
Jump in, get 1,000 damage off on every hero in existence at the same time, and then die.
And the Tide Hunter is even building to that end too, going just immediately for the Shiva's guard.
Of course, I call you a crackhead with love.
Only hate. Undying going for the Guardian Greaves here. I feel like if you're going for an item this big of a ticket at this juncture, honestly, maybe, like, how much is E-Blade compared to the rest of this? Okay, it is considerably... I don't think he had the mech, though.
I don't know how useful Greaves is at this point, because, like, what are you really purging? You can't purge AA's ult, you can't heal through AA's ult, so you're not really saving anyone from that. You're not healing people through any of Taki's shit, because for some reason his ult stacks aren't purgeable. Ursa stacks aren't purgeable. You can purge the slow from Ursa, but he's got a basher, which is not.
I'm still a big believer in, like, the panic buff you get when you're low on HP around the Rarity Greaves carrier, but it doesn't really make any sense in this game, because everybody else on the team is alpha damage, except for Ursa, who's Ursa, so in neither case is that going to do anything for you. You've kind of caught the Kunkka out here, who's going on this mission deep in the back line with the Monkey King alone. For some crazy reason, again, we're kind of back to that position I was talking about earlier. Strategically speaking, this is like nonsense. The Undying is going to get here in time to save the guy's life, just uses all of his heals on him. Just going to walk into the AA blast that's coming in, though. Space Cowboy's kind of playing this around this AA ult so far, like he has no idea it's coming. Like,
We
so
now
getting this
say,
guy in the game.
welcome to the Ursa player in this game. Jaso has arrived.
Oh, Jaso in chat?
Yeah.
Ravage on the...
Pretty good Ravage.
What is my Monkey King doing, man? This is
he
this
got
is like insanity.
Out of his ultimate, really good save from Cryptic, and the lack of vision from the Dire team proving fatal, or not really fatal, but detrimental.
Yeah. They're going to they're going to defuse the situation very handily. So good job for them. This could have been a lot worse.
Nick's not being quite close enough to that fight to provide.
Oh no.
Innate vision.
The Dragon Knight tried to, or not the Dragon Knight, the Kunkka tried to leave. They got Ursa! Oh my god. Great time for him to pull to show up.
Yeah, they managed to catch Ursa with literally nothing.
They did lose the Monkey King came down though, so all that effort was for naught. Again, it's kind of go back to what I was talking about earlier, like tactically they're kind of on the ball there, but strategically speaking, like the decision, Monkey King just hanging out alone, just 9 miles away from everybody else, going deep in, like that is nonsense to me. I don't know what Tide Hunter thinks he's doing by himself. I'm gonna buy back in the Tide, they really need more buys, or just don't buy at all. Okay, here's the more buys.
Here's the more buys.
Cryptic is gonna give his life for this, well he's gonna try and give his life for the range, or the melee Rex. He doesn't actually do enough damage. Very sad. One more shot from the DK, that's a very different story. Oh no, which doctor thought he was not under vision, but that's that observer up there.
Unfortunately, defensive observer words see everything. This doctor has a blink dagger, though, so... Never mind, I thought I saw him blink. I am blind.
Deny. Deny? Alright everybody, deny.
I want them to deny the mid-rax.
Oh, okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Because it's on 1 health.
Miles will carry you. Who the hell is Miles?
I'm assuming... Skywrath Spammer, aka Kingfisher?
Oh, I assumed it was Jaso, but I guess Jaso is probably like Jason or something.
Well, it was also said before Jaso joined the chat.
It's true, but he did at it, which is suspicious.
Oh, there was a
5 bounty runes? Are you kidding me?
there was
Guys!
a significant period of time between those two messages.
That was 500 gold. That just changed hands right there.
Yes, they've made Halberd dispellable by being.
Yeah, Halberd is like
other.
Halberd super sucks now. I feel like it's very rarely the option to go for.
now a truly unfortunate item because it's dispelled by BKB, Manta Style, all these things. It is the only it's the only disarm in the game that's dispellable, and it's freaking useless.
Yeah. You know, earlier we were talking about Yules, and I think that's another great argument for it. Beyond everything else, the fact that Halberd is really bad. It's a smart play by the DK there, just uses his BKB, not for a fight, but just to go in, get the Rex, and then get back. The Ursa is going to catch him on the back line, but alone, he's not got that much to do.
I guess
Great Witch Doctor ult! Oh man. We're not quite going to get him here, but... Very good sequence of events for the Radiant, even if nobody died. I think that was just the right call there. Just use the BKB, clear the lane, then just get the hell out. They didn't lose anybody for the job either. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to try to go for round 2 with the top T3, but hey, you know.
Goodbye, Kingfisher. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Have yourself Merry Little Christmas, Kingfisher. Gonna catch the AA here.
Oh, and he gives his value to everyone on the team.
Kunkka pops BKB 1 femtosecond before he dies. What was that Witch Doctor ult? Very interesting. It was also a swap earlier.
Yes, that was a $2,500 gold swing.
Ooh. Once again, the Monkey King just gonna get gone on by all the cores and go down. Once again, the DK, the only guy who survives. I think it was really just... I think it was a really good idea to go for the Rex here. I think it was a really bad idea to keep going for the T3. They just didn't have the BKBs or the skills to prosecute for that. And as a result, oh my god, that's a lot of money just changed hands. 1,182 gold to Earth, 1,467 to Techies, and just shy of 1,000 to the rest of the team. That's a very big sequence of events, and of course, when Radiant wants to do Roche, Roche takes his sweet-ass time. When Dire wants to do Roche, it's right there, baby.
Of course, Ursa's the Roche master.
Ursa getting very close to 6-slotted here. He is saving for buyback. It's quite an expensive buyback. I'm so relieved to look at buyback and see it actually costs like a really large amount of money, as opposed to a few patches ago where it's like buyback for like, you know, 1,000 gold at any point in the game or whatever.
What does the Nake's Assassin have for items?
The Nake's Assassin, he has a Dagon and a Kaya, and that's it. He's going for a hex, but it's gonna be a minute.
I like this. I played against a very unfortunate Nyx Assassin who went for a lot of team items and ended up being relatively useless by the end of the game.
Speaking of relatively useless, what the hell is this? Why am I looking at this in a quick buy at 46 minutes? It's terrible.
Crimson Guard?
Crimson Guard isn't even good to buy at 46 minutes, like in patches where it doesn't suck, and this is not one of those patches.
I mean, it's decent. It'll slow down the Ursa and make the techies do less damage.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not really what you want, I think, in any capacity. What is this doing here? You get the techies and Tide combo, but without anybody else here, it doesn't really amount to much.
Honestly, though, that was all 3 cores BKBs, and Witch Doctor ultimate, and a Monkey King ultimate.
Yeah.
For Ravage and Ice Blast, which...
And their lives in the techies buyback.
Yeah, it was 2 lives. Ursa still has BKB.
That is true. And the EA is actually going to live this, maybe? No, he's not. He's going to get fire breathed on him.
Pretty close, though. Ursa with a very
rip to the Nyx.
The Nyx Assassin.
Ursa is deep in here. His BKB's down already, but it doesn't really matter. No, don't halberd the techies! Don't go after the techies!
Techies illusions are attacking so fast, Jesus.
That was like a major misplay on Space Cowboy's part. Space Cowboy just ignored the rest of that fight to go after the techies. When Ursa just killed the rest of his team. What a bad thing to do. With the
yes, what exactly are you confused about?
What exactly? Huh? What? Who's confused?
Ice just goes. Ice just, what? Huh?
Legitimately, I don't know who's confused.
Geist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, despite this gold change thing does not count the buyback, so despite the equal-looking gold trade that actually was gold-wise a win for the Radiant, but doesn't really feel like it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In particular, this Monkey King is really not coming together. Feels like every fight they just point him out and just get rid of him.
Yeah.
And never really feels like he expects it. It always feels like it's a surprise to everybody when it happens, and it's a little awkward. Again, I feel like this would be a great place to have like the E-Blade on the Undying, or like the Wind Waker on the Kunkka here, because that will be a very nice, reliable save for the Monkey King when he gets into a bad spot. In either of those cases.
Playing E-Blade, Pepe Laugh, reliable save? Yeah. Everyone knows E-Blade is an offensive item.
It's true. They're gonna assault this Tormentor here without any damage. Okay, here comes the Monkey King. DK is going to get his Boots of Travels. He's about as scary as he's ever going to be at this point. All he's got left really is Strength Blank. They have their 5 shards already, so all that is money. Which they clearly don't need, because they already lost 5 bounty runes, and here's 2 more just into the jungle. So clearly, Radiant has no great love for money. Very, philanthropic, very philanthropic team. Do you remember when you could sell the BKB to get back to the 9 charges? That was a great time.
Yeah, you just have to buy another BKB, and you'd have 9 charges. You didn't even have to sell it.
Hi AA. Hi the real AA. That's a little crazy.
Hi the AA.
Yep, he's down. That's a dieback too. I mean, it feels like he's kind of the least important member of this team, so it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, with DK picking up the Satanic, that AA blast would have been really nice to have.
That is true. But it feels like so far they're kind of doing fine without. Again, they're dropping all the Kunkka stuff on the techies, everybody else going after the Ursa, which is really just not an effective way of running these fights. They're going to drag Ursa right into Kunkka. Well, that's awkward.
At this point in time, techies has become an issue.
Big old, oh my god, everybody's dying. Big Witch Doctor ult kills, the Tidehunter kills the Ursa. Gonna buy back on the Tide and the Ursa here, but they're not gonna...
What happened to versus Aegis? Did it time out in the middle of that fight? Because he started that fight with an 8 in his inventory.
Let's, go back in time a little bit. Let's massively lag as of all the stuff that happened. So, fighter. Oh yeah, his Aegis timed out here. Awkward. Times out literally right before he dies too. That's so sad.
Yeah, you were like 2 seconds behind that Aegis. That's a truly unfortunate scenario.
Speaking of truly unfortunate, that that glyph that comes out when the Rax is 200 HP. Ursa jumping on the line here. He actually he's in a bit of a... Well, no, he has his BKB, so he's fine. They're going to, once again, just annihilate the Monkey King before he can do anything.
Yeah, this Nyx Assassin is just finding this Monkey King and shooting him repeatedly.
They lost the final Rax to these 2 catapults, so that's kind of sad. Or maybe to this DK, who's suspiciously running away down here. Hard to tell.
Look how much damage this Techies does from 1,000 attack range. What is this nonsense?
Not enough to actually get the kill, unfortunately, for him. And now DK is just gonna find a bunch of Lotuses in his pool because his team's not doing nothing, and he's all better. So this team's now mega. This team is this Jaso lineup is 1 Ursa away from game over. I think the next, if Ursa dies before his buyback cooldown comes off, which, let's look at that, since that's probably the more interesting stat right now. If this Ursa dies before that buyback comes off, this game is history, I think.
Honestly, with how much damage this Takis is doing, I think those Takis can carry a team fight.
That remains to be seen. I think the issue with the right-click Techies build is when he gets to shoot at you for free for 10 minutes, he does a lot of damage, and when he doesn't do that, he has 3,000 HP, which is a very impressive-looking number until DK gets rid of it in 4 shots. They're going to get rid of the Undying here at the very beginning of the fight, which is really probably not what this team wants to happen. DK, kind of in deep here, does not want a piece of this nonsense. There's a BKB and ult is over, but it doesn't matter.
Out. Due to the friggin' Revenant's brutes just ignoring all of his armor.
Dire's middle tower.
Ursa is going to run past the Monkey King here as all of his buildings fall down.
He doesn't know that he's there.
People start teleporting back to the base because a bunch of statues died in their Ancients Open. Again, I think it's just one last time the strategic element on this team kind of falls apart for them. Like, playing very spread out, very brazenly when they're still dying very quickly. Oh, they found the bounty runes this time.
I do not like this refresher's orb for them. I like that a lot better.
The Assault Kyros instead.
Yeah.
Tidehunter has no plans for his future. He's got his refresher now. It's all he wants. It's all he needs.
Honestly, guys.
Oh no. That was.
It was very unfortunate. I don't hate the Ursa this game. The team needed some sort of dive. It had a front line. It had the AA, the back line with the techies. It did need someone to go in and do some shenanigans.
I think the key.
Ursa's really good at doing shenanigans.
I think the two key issues are, one, Ursa sucks. It's just a bad hero right now. Gonna find the Kunkka. Well, you're arguing against statistics there. He's just really in the shitter right now, as far as statistics go. Well, again, any patch, like Ursa versus Jug, has been a positive win rate nearly the entire run of Dota 2. And the patches where that's not the case universally have one thing in common. Ursa super sucks. Like, even when Jug is baller, it's usually Ursa still has a positive win rate into him. Speaking of Ursa, he's going to find the Witch Doctor here. They're just going to immediately get rid of him. They're doing the right thing here on the Jaso team. They know that the Cryptic team is running around all scattered. They're not running around as 5. And every time they see somebody, just everybody runs at them. And every time everybody runs at one guy, they get the kill. DK is going to TP up here to the base while they're running around looking for the Undying here. He's going to drop everything he can on the Ancient. He's not going to get it, but he's going to force a bunch of TPs. He's going to force all the TPs. There's that at least. It's not going to be worth it if he dies for it, though. And die he will.
Yep. This Techies just demolishes him if he doesn't have BKB active. With that, what's it called? The Revenant's Brooch, dealing the magic damage.
Such an awkward situation. They just can't finish the game because they just won't stay together. All that needs to happen for this game to conclude is for the Radiant to B5, go to Roche, and just, do it. If the Dire responds to it, then DK can TP to base and finish the fight. If Dire doesn't respond to it, they can just stay 5 and win.
Honestly, I don't think they win a team fight at this point.
You were doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
The monkey, while having 5 items, just seems so incredibly useless, and I couldn't put a finger on it exactly why. He gets his ult off in fight.
I mean, I think the problem is we don't know how a team fight would go for them because they haven't had anything that looks like a coordinated team fight in an awkwardly long amount of time. Like, they're looking at the Ursa, they're following the trees. He's at the Lotus Pit here. He's gonna run into the Kunkka. And again, team is just not in the best spot to deal with it. Okay, team is suddenly in the best spot to deal with it. Griff is going to use all of his items to get out. Great job on Space Cowboy's part, going to, oh my god, going to delay his X as long as possible, way through the BKB. And Ursa is down for 1:08. Tide's going to use his double ravage to get rid of the Kunkka.
Ursa unfortunately used Satanic while he was at full health, gaining exactly 0 health back from it.
In the pool, looking for the Tide Hunter. He's not going to, okay, is going to find him, never mind.
However, it is not the same Tide Hunter you could one-shot earlier in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty soon. Techies is going to come in the middle of this. I think he's going to buy back. Oh my god, no! Pool! He already double ulted! What's he going to do to you? Oh my god, no! Horrible call on In the Pool's part to completely ignore the techies and just go all in on the Tide Hunter.
I feel that, yeah, so the amount of buttons, you just sort of lose track of what you're trying to do.
They do have techies in a compromising position here. He's just going to item his way out of it. DK's actually going to buy back. They only have a couple more seconds before they have to deal with Earth, so buyback is almost on cooldown. Or off cooldown, rather.
Monkey King just tried
Hunter's going to go down, he has buy.
Monkey King just tried to man-fight the techies and lost.
And he has no buyback himself. He is short on money, about 1,000 gold.
He bought out for that.
And that's a dieback on the DK.
Only for techies to buy a Revenant's Approach and bypass all that armor entirely.
Dire's Ancient survives with 800 HP. Again, just something is going horribly wrong, strategically speaking, for the Cryptic team. Just every fight, it feels like Monkey King is in the wrong spot. Every fight, it feels like there's just weird, you know, calling VIPs. That's a big thing. You know, calling who's the important guy in the fight to jump on, and it feels like nobody's ever in the same boat when it comes to that. It feels like every fight we're just looking at the Cryptic team, you know, everybody jumping on random guys. In particular, just a particular offense to me is the decision to go on, for the DK, to go on the Tide Hunter when the Tide Hunter had already ulted, refreshed, and then ulted again. Just could not pick a less useful target if he tried.
Well, I don't disagree with you. This has to be stated that this is an incredibly difficult Monkey King game at this point. You don't know who to jump, because the one person you're, like, quote-unquote supposed to jump, the techies, can just beat your ass face to face.
Well, the problem is that you ideally want to get your team together. You want to have a team when you do things, but they're just not seeing. They actually didn't get any racks on this push back. That's very sad. You know, for the T4 from the support line, just kept them off long enough for them to have to go home. But either way, what you'd really like to have happen is you'd like to have more than one core in a fight at the same time. We just have not seen that in so long.
Well, they had that one fight tough 10 minutes ago, or like 10-15 minutes ago, and that was the last semi-coordinated fight that they had.
Yeah.
Where both teams had all members. And Radiant lost it, and since then it's been a lot of pickoffs before fights.
Yeah, since then it's been a lot of pickoffs, and it's never the Radiant getting them. Maybe Radiant is listening to my call in the future, and they're finally doing what they should have done like 10-15 minutes ago, which is they're just going to get it Aegis and be done with this nonsense.
I don't know how much this changes, honestly. I couldn't tell you.
Well, last time DK was able to take the Ancient down to 800 HP before he died, so logically speaking, if he gets just a few more shots, then it's over.
Logic. When did logic ever apply to someone playing techies?
Good question. Aegis comes out, the Cheese comes out, Dragon Knight takes Aegis, Monkey King takes Cheese. I'd really love to have seen that the other way around, but what can you do?
I guess they just want DK to blink in and start hitting the Aegis, and have the other team just have to respond to that.
He's also taken the Refresher shard as well.
Which now gives you damage.
Yes, it does. No, it doesn't, Eli. It gives you HP regen, mana regen, and okay, yeah, it does give you damage. It just gives you a very small amount of it.
It gives you the exact same stats of refreshers, or it gives you.
There you go.
DK pulling a Stygian Death, so they're really good for them in this scenario where they need to kill a base as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Or kill people. I mean, you know, a big thing, it's like I said, the Techie still melts when you get him. The problem is nobody's been, like, getting him. Techie still melts when you get him. He's been melting still. Problem is everyone's ignoring him.
There's the Butterfly and the Lifesteal from the Revenant's Brooch, because he's dealing nothing but magic right-click damage and the magic Lifesteal from Revenant's Brooch. The last fight, or the last engagement that they had, Monkey King was in melee range with the Techies, and the Techies was just clicking him to death, and Monkey King lost that fight 1-1.
Well, no, it wasn't a 1v1, it was like a 1v2-3.
No, I mean, it was off like a little side fight down the stairs.
Yeah.
Monkey King jumped on the Techies, and Techies beat his ass.
But there was more people there than just the Techies.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I'm saying, for his team.
One...
Whereas was not the case for the Monkey King.
True.
I still think if you get this Techies, he's probably just gonna explode. But they have to get the Techies. They're just not. They don't really seem that interested in that idea. I think at this point, pretty much everyone is just done. I don't think anybody has any items left to buy.
A couple.
Tide does, I guess.
A couple synth eggs, but that's about it. Book of Shadows for the Nix Assassin.
DK is going to go in deep here looking for the AA. He's not going to get anybody before he got himself. The Monkey King ult, gigantic Monkey King ult is going to come out here. But they're going to, like, ignore him. They're going to take the Kunkka.
Yeah, they just walked outside of the Monkey King ult and then lived their lives as best as possible.
AA coming back in here. And Ursa versus DK ends with DK drop Aegis.
So one of them has the second player.
Yep. Techies gets chumped on by everybody. Andrews dies instantly. Buys back equally instantly. He's going to try and go for the Undying here. He's going to pop the wrong item there as he attempts to use Ghost Scepter to bypass the man with the Revenant's Brooch. Guess he did not see that.
Might have forgotten that it bypassed that.
Maybe.
I know I would. You're like, hey, I'm dodging auto attacks. Techies is gonna win this game because that shit does so much damage.
I'm going to fast forward this game. I'm tired of it.
Viewers may be thinking, why does he have the Scotty in his backpack? He gets the stats from it because he's Techies.
Ancient lives there.
Gold for my
Ancient lives, so it's kind of an affront to God. Neek's Assassin has a bunch of recipes in his backpack.
He's building a little bit of everything.
He's a very educated item builder. He's going to jump on the Kunkka here. He's not really going to do much of anything, but he's not going to die for it either.
He missed most of his spells and still did 1200 damage.
The pool getting himself an MKB. Sure, he replaces Mask of Madness.
Yeah, it's necessary against... No, he replaces Armlet.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Necessary against his Techies.
He also has his Moon Shard. So literally the only thing for the DK left to do is just Overwhelming Blink.
Or
which doesn't really
Blink,
mean
maybe.
anything. Maybe.
For the extra just attack speed and 5 armor after you press it. Not that armor's really helping in this game. He's rolling around with 40.
There we go. Jesus Christ. Somebody on this cryptic team learn to look at the timing for bounty runes, please.
Yeah. They probably thought they'd be done by now.
Too bad we couldn't fast forward, says the man whose fault this is.
Yeah. Completely.
You just have to wait out the Roche once again.
Radiant
Which
are
means next
scanning.
fight, Ursa is going to have buyback. Techies is not.
Dire are scanning.
Undying has 4,000 gold.
Dire are
This
scanning.
man is rich.
It's a safer buyback. Because he's dead.
Just see this at 1x. Take out the Undying immediately. DK TP's up to the wave up here and just skips down immediately as everyone on Dire is now more than used to this stuff and just immediately chases him out of the base.
DK terrified of 3 men and an explosive cart.
Monkey King gets his own bar. So he's now like 7 slotted. Very awkwardly, he's put his boots in his backpack.
I would have liked to see Monkey King X.
Yeah, he does not have it still at this point. They're going to secure the Radiant Roche pit.
Monkey King's dead.
And he... Oh my god, Krem. This is a very sad game for Krem fans. I feel like most of the issues he's having this game are kind of his own fault.
Witch Doctor has an Aeon Disc placed.
Yes, he does, yes.
What's it called? Kunkka now has an MQB as well.
Aeol gets almost everybody on the Radiant and the Roche pit, and Ursa just dies immediately. Oh my god. The Aegis! Cryptic denies it!
In 2016, you'd have gotten a Crimson Treasure for that.
It's true.
However, this is not that.
Everybody buying back. All the buybacks coming out now. They're desperately trying to get rid of this techies here. Cryptic just walking on this back line, just chasing after him.
I feel like if he turned and just started clicking him, he'd win that fight.
Probably, but if he turns and starts clicking him, he's dead because all of Cryptic's team is behind him, but slower, and techies is, you know, all alone. So nothing happening off of that that particular Aegis fight. Kunkka and Titan are buybacks coming out next as Radiant just retreats.
At least they're buying back in, what's it called? In equivalence. First the
Sure.
parries buy back, then the offlaners buy back. Only 4 people in the game with no buyback. Just used them.
Yep.
We were a second apart on the Tidehunter and the Kunkka. Did you guys plan this?
Yeah, they're matching. Saw Ursa walk on the sentry. Ursa must have noticed it, just ran away immediately.
It's the Nyx Assassin.
Oh, was it Nyx? Okay. It's weird, I thought it looked like the Ursa to me. I must be losing it.
You must be. DD on the, or expiring DD. DK.
Monkey King positioning very aggressively for a man with no buyback. BK being
And
very
no
randomly. No brains. I feel like that was a fat finger.
There is no rapier yet.
Nope.
Bounty.
The issue is not the YOLOing BKB hitting it, it's the actual getting there without dying.
Well, I mean, he didn't YOLO BKB hit it. He hit BKB with no intention of doing anything when nobody was around, and then
No,
Cryptic's
somebody
in their
asked,
brains.
is the Ancient not low enough to YOLO BKB hit it? It's at
Yeah, no, DK has tried that a few times. He just can't do it. He just can't get it.
Yeah, he dies before. He can't just YOLO BKB to hit it because Ursa has a basher. Or Ursa has an abyssal blade, so he just gets stunned and then dies.
Mm-hmm.
Also a blast.
I think if they coordinated the efforts with both the DK and the Monkey King at the same time, with the Aegis at least, they might be able to do it, but it would be really close, and it's probably not worth the risk.
A Wind Waker on Monkey King.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Battle Fury.
Yep. He put that in his pocket to get it.
I expected 2 people to get it, and Monkey King was neither of them.
Hey, it's kind of thematically appropriate with his set and everything. It looks like it matches.
I guess.
In the pool, Stray up at top, dies, gets called pathetic.
By Queen
Within the
Aquaria.
pool
Oh,
down, they immediately start running at where they think the Radiant is, but the Radiant, wisely, just immediately have backed off at this point.
Giants Ring Undying running along the edges of the map.
Yep. Going to get spotted here by the techies. And just immediately killed, and then Tidehunter's going to say pathetic. And then Cryptic's going to say no brains.
When does this game end? I'm assuming
I don't know.
we've got like another 10 minutes.
It ends next time somebody dies without buyback. That's when it ends.
Just to inform you, we were spoiled that this game would be longer than 40 minutes. Not an 80-minute game.
Oh no, I think I was spoiled on the exact length of this game. I just forgot how long it was, and I was just like, this game is forever.
Yeah,
I think the thing I told you was this game is so long, Cryptic personally apologized to me for it.
Yeah, you said that he said it was longer than a 40-minute game. And I went, okay, you know, that's not too bad. And here we are 80 minutes into a 40-minute game.
Did I say 40? If I said 40 minutes, I don't think I intended to. Because I definitely did not know how long this game went when I said that. TK's trying to build the cool cheese.
40 minutes popped out of my head, never mind.
He's gonna walk into the Roche pit here. He's gonna get caught. AA ult is gonna come out.
I mean, a 500 health permanently regenerating shield would not be too bad. I don't think it would matter at this point.
Undying's gonna buy back here to contest the Roche. Neeks is gonna go in. He's gonna lose a godlike.
Not that money matters this late into the game.
Yeah. Gonna get the double Ravage off on mostly the Kunkka.
A double 5-man
And
Ravage.
Earth is gonna go down. He's gonna buy back immediately. Neeks is back in the fight. Takes out some guys with the old zap.
Oh my god, that was a Ravager. That was a Ravager by Kunkka. He pressed Q
DK
and
goes
stunned
over the
Torpedo.
Aegis and just gets bullied by the supports and dies. For fuck's sake. Call the GG already. Somebody.
I mean, there's no buyback on 3 heroes. Monkey King's finishing up the Aegis.
There's no buyback on anybody. The only people with buybacks right now are techies, Tide,
Oh
and the
my
supports.
god, no.
Krem?
Cream. I
Krem.
knew it. I saw it happen.
Krem.
I saw it.
Krem. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, this is a victory for the Jaso team, but I don't think it's one they can feel that good about. It's most definitively a throw by the Cryptic lineup, I think. There's just, I think this is just a really good illustration of what happens when you get cocky. I think there was just like this, 10 to 20 minute part of this game where the Cryptic lineup just thought they could not possibly lose, where they thought they had it in the bag. I think they started playing cocky. Yeah, I was that done. They just started playing cocky, and that was just it. Like, that part of the game, it wasn't, again, I hate to say it because it always sounds like I'm burying the other guys when I say this, and you do still have to take advantage of a mistake, mind you. But, there's just a part of this game which was just basically just the Jaso team runs around getting pickoffs because the Cryptic team is massively splitting, just trying to farm and finish their 6 items, and not really conscious of the game going on around them. I think that's basically the long and short of what was going on there, is like the Cryptic team was just so ahead of themselves that they just decided, hey, we can do whatever we want. Krem started splitting, in the pool started splitting, in the pool and Krem started dying. Fights started getting really disorganized. It was like, we're winning. So when we're together, we win. So just go on whoever. Like that fight where the DK jumps on the Tide. I know I've harped on that so many times, but like the fight where he jumps on the Tide Hunter, who's already double ravaged, is just insane to me. He pursues the kill so hard, he just ignores the techies and just kills them. Look at the damage done. Okay. Absolutely disgusting amount of damage just all around the board here. Everybody except Monkey King, who really didn't do anything. Maybe Monkey King and Krem, I don't know, maybe he's been off the wagon with this hero. I don't know. It just didn't look right. I think that was maybe one of the bigger sore points for the Cryptic team beyond what was going on there. It just felt like his positioning was always just a little weird. He was running into danger a lot. Like, this is not by any means a bad Monkey King game. I think it's a good Monkey King game, unless you just kind of like continually forget that there's Neeks on the enemy team and forget that most of their guys can kill you pretty quickly if you get caught with your pants down, right? Like, and that was kind of what was happening. He was just kind of jumping around like, "Oh, I'm invincible, baby. I'm just gonna, hang around in the trees on my own." Before the last big fight around the pit where he bought back, right? Before that fight, he got randomly caught up at top, and then DK randomly got caught up at top after that happened. Like, I don't know, the
This
monkey.
Nyx
Hmm?
was doing a good job scouting.
Yeah, I think Neeks was generally doing a better job than not. I think the uh, the techies turned out well, even if I do think a lot of it was giving him the ability to turn out well. But I think generally, broadly speaking, it did definitely feel like the Cryptic team should have won this at 40, 50 minutes. I think they should have won that around that time, but the issue they had was just like when they needed to get together, they just started splitting up. They didn't really think about like just how easy they were to pick off. They didn't think about how they would be able to save each other. They didn't do themselves that many favors with the itemization either. In particular, just like the early halberd on the Kunkka that was pointed out earlier, that was just kind of whack. The late Crimson on the Kunkka as well, also pretty whack.
The end.
I think Crimson is a bad item, and halberd is a terrible item right now. And in a game that looks like this, where the Ursa
Honestly,
can just get rid of it anyway, right?
honestly, looking at Space Cowboy's entire build, the weirdest item is the MKB.
I get the MKB more than the other stuff. I mean, that's just a knee-jerk reaction to, oh, we're missing the techies. That's the only trick, right? Like, I get
True.
that more than anything else. It's not like he was right-clicking anybody, but hey, when he wanted to right-click, he might as well right-click, make it land. But like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a little rough for the Jaso team to say this feels more like Cryptic team's loss than their win, but I think that's where I'm going to have to put it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think nobody won this game. I know we have a winner, but nobody won.
Hooray! Let's see what happens next time.